What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about two TikTokers that found out they're dating the same guy, and it gets a little weird, so let's talk about it. So I want to go ahead and start off with Kylin Darnell, and if you don't know who she is, she's a TikToker with over 1 million followers and is known as the Rush Talk Queen. She blew up during Bama Rush in 2022 by posting Rush tips and get ready with me videos. She also has this saying that she does in all of her videos, saying, I hope you have a great day, not just a good one. This will come up later on, which is why I'm telling you that. But she was dating this guy named Easton Wolf that goes to college in Texas. And with her going to Alabama, they kind of did this long distance thing. So on November 23rd, she ended up posting a video with her at the Dallas airport saying that she was waiting for her boyfriend to pick her up.
We are in the Dallas airport, waiting on my boyfriend to come pick me up.
And at this point, no one knew that they were dating. No one knew she had a boyfriend. So after this video, everyone started asking questions. So the next day, they were going to go out for date night, and she decided to post a get ready with me video, basically explaining that she was going to wait to announce who he is because she wanted to keep her relationship as private as possible right now. Because as a public figure, once people know who you're dating, things start to get messy, people start to get involved, and she didn't want any of that. She also went on to talk about how long they've been dating. They started talking in June and started dating in September. So this is a fresh relationship.
Hey y'all, hope you're having a great day, not just a good day. I'm having a great day. I am currently in Fort Worth right now, Fort Worth, Texas. We are at my boyfriend's, that's why the venue is different. Now, a lot of people have asked me, like, when am I going to show him off? When am I going to post him on the page? So we started talking like June of this summer. We started dating September, so we're still in like our honeymoon phase. Okay, so I will definitely not be posting him anytime soon. It's nothing against like him, it's just I don't want him to like get rushed into the being Kylin's boyfriend thing, and I also want us to like grow together and get to know each other even more than we already do. And I feel like that by putting him on social media, it automatically, like, I don't know, it just makes it harder in a way. And yeah, I'm just gonna wait till we get out of like the honeymoon stage to make sure it's still chef's kiss. So it's gonna be a while.
So while she's visiting her boyfriend, having a good time, they're at dinner, and she gets this text message from her mom. And it's a video of another person basically saying that she's dating the exact same guy that she's across the dinner table with. So of course, that's an awkward moment for anyone. Now, the girl that posted the video is Grace Hall, and she has 66,000 followers on TikTok. I'm not sure if that's what she had before she posted this, but as of me making this video, that's how many she has. And it's a get ready with me about how she found out that her boyfriend cheated on her with a famous TikToker. And while she didn't name any names in this video, she definitely insinuated who it was about by leading with the same phrase that Kylin uses in all of her videos. So that's how everyone figured out who it was.
Hey, not just a bad day. So get ready with me while I tell you how I found out that my boyfriend cheated on me with a famous TikToker. I wasn't gonna make this, but I guess it's going to be on the internet, and I might as well share my side of the story too.
So Grace uploads this video to TikTok, and while doing so, she already has Kylin and her sister blocked, so they can't see anything. So her mom finds this video on her For You page and sends it to her daughter, knowing that it's about her, and that's how she ended up opening this during dinner. Grace claims that she had been dating this guy from February to July, and also she goes to the same school as him in Texas. So
for sake of this story, you can call the guy Coyote. So me and Coyote dated from somewhere in February to middle to end of July. I took him to the airport to go back to Ohio on my birthday, actually. And then I picked him up. Shortly after I picked him up, I noticed he was acting different. But shortly after I picked him up, he broke up with me out of nowhere and couldn't give me really a reason other than like, this is what he has to do. I was heartbroken. Really, truly did love this person and care about him, which is like what's so confusing and why I like waited so long to say anything.
But they break up in July, and he starts texting her again in August, asking if she wants her stuff back from the breakup. They continue to talk off and on through the end of September, and at this time, Easton ends up telling her that he's dating this famous TikToker, and she's probably gonna see it on the internet. Grace is a little confused because she feels led on over the past few months and is trying to line up the timeline on how this all comes into play, where he has another girlfriend, but he's also been dating her. She does a little digging and goes on his Instagram, tries to look for verified followers that also follows him back, and she ends up finding Kylin, because you know us women are some damn good investigators.
The hard part was we lived in the same apartment. I'm also like a student at TCU, and so I had like a big possibility of running into him all the time. I don't talk to him at all. I'm like doing good. I'm finding myself, whatever. I'm healing. I was heartbroken. He texts me, so he reaches out to me the beginning of August, asks me if I want to come get my stuff back. I had replied and said I wasn't worrying about it. And then the conversation, turns into the common like ex-boyfriend thing of like, how are you doing? Whatever. We start talking again, and it's toxic again, so we stop. I think that I saw him a couple more times after that, between then and end of September, like September 2020, somewhere around there. Where then he tells me that he's going to have this famous new girlfriend, and I'm going to see it on the internet. So I'm in like, what the heck? Oh, okay, so what's the timeline of this? If like we just broke up recently, we're still like talking to each other, and now all of a sudden you have this famous girlfriend. I'm a girl. I'm able to figure stuff out. Figured out who this person was. And I was done at this point because I was like, you know what? Like, if I date this person, then great, but leave me alone and have nothing to do with me. I text him and I say, leave all my stuff at the door, and then I'm unadding you. He unadds me before I can unadd him, because that's just kind of relationship we had where he watched Tell Me Lies, think Steven and Lucy, like that's how this is. He leaves my stuff at my door, unadds me, and I block him on Instagram, and I block the girl on Instagram too, just because like I don't want to see stuff. Like I'm still heartbroken and hurting, and now at this point I'm assuming he cheated on me with her just because of the timeline, but like I don't know sure.
The only reason I think he told her was because he knew it was going to come out. But October hits and Easton starts texting Grace again, but she's already going on a date with another guy. They don't really hit it off. She comes home and ends up going to hang out with Easton, and of course he tells her not to say anything to anyone, but also leads her on to where she's thinking that they're going to end up getting back together. They're sending each other snaps back and forth. He's basically telling her how he's never going to find another girl like her, and that things could have been different if she just spoke up, and blah, blah, blah. Basically, just giving her all the feels.
This is October now, and we start talking again, and it's just like these toxic conversations, I was talking to this other guy to visit him on that weekend. So obviously thinks that he's in this relationship with this girl and trying to be with this guy, and I'm off. I'm on my way to go visit this new guy. Text me, just something like random to get me to respond. I am like not responding, whatever. I'm gonna go spend the weekend with this guy, see how it goes. Up like not really going good. We just didn't really click. I respond to him. I got back to our apartment and I went to go see him. We got together telling me, don't tell anyone, blah, 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 blah. We start talking. So I'm thinking, okay, he was lying to me about this girl and he's not actually with her. And it was just like a lie, and like we're probably going to get back together. I was moving out of our apartment. This shelf that I didn't want, so I asked him if he wanted it. Obviously, I just wanted a chance to like say bye to him again, because now I'm to the point again where I'm like, I'm done with it. So I asked him and I'm like, hey, do you want this shelf? Like, yeah, can you bring it at this time, because like that's when I'll be home. So bring it, and I'm thinking that this conversation is like me being like, I'm done with you again, this is over, this is the last time I'm going to talk to you. Way home, he's texting me being like, I don't understand why this hurt you so much, or even told me I loved you. Then I say to him, I'm like, doesn't mean that I didn't, because I'm still sitting here thinking, okay, are we getting back together? He's like, then you should have told me, and I was like, would that have changed anything? And he said yes. All things that you shouldn't be saying if you have a girlfriend. So I'm assuming at this point me and him are getting back together, and like that was never a thing. Stop talking again. I call him on Halloween for like a couple minutes. Stop talking again. We text again on November 6th. I'm totally leaving things out of this, but there is like so much.
He then sends her a text Thursday night, November 22nd, which is the day before Kylin posts her video that she's at the Dallas airport waiting to get picked up. This text basically says, "Don't take it personally if I have to unadd you in the morning." So she starts putting two and two together, finally, and wakes up to being blocked and a text message that says, "We need some time apart, but we'll end up talking again."
He's still blocked on everything. He's blocked on Snapchat and he's blocked on Instagram. Text me saying that he is at the spot that we met. The notification that he adds me on Snapchat. Now we start snapping as if we are dating or getting back together, sending each other things, until he texts me Thursday night and tells me, "Don't take it personally if I unadd you in the morning." Two and two together again, and I'm like, no freaking way. Tells me that night, supposed to do, just forget about you, like, never met someone as sweet as you. I know that I will never meet someone like you. Wake up and I'm unadded. The text from him saying that we need to take some time again and then we'll talk again.
So after that, a friend texts her the video of Kylin at the airport and she's furious. So she ends up texting Easton saying, "Do you want to tell her or me?" He says, "No, just wait a week. I'll tell her." But then she sees the video of Kylin in his bathroom talking about when they started dating in June, and this kind of overlaps with Grace's story.
That morning though, when I wake up, friend sending me this TikTok saying that her boyfriend is picking her up from the airport. Boyfriend. Which is wild because he told me we're not officially together, and if they ever were, then he would cut things off with me. Which is horrible that I even let myself be like a choice when I was his girlfriend. I find out that I was cheated on with her. So I see this TikTok. I am like, no freaking way. Text him and I say, "So do you want to tell her or do you want me to?" And he's like, "I will. We will all talk." And I was like, huh? He thinks that he is going to talk to me before he tells her. And he tells me to wait a week because we both need time. So I go to sleep last night. I wake up in the middle of the night, sick to my stomach about this whole situation. I was literally having a nightmare about it. Text him and I said, "I'm not waiting a week. You're a liar and I can't believe that I ever thought that you actually cared about it." Then I see the TikTok posted today or whenever it's posted. I never even watched the whole thing, about how they started talking in June. It's wild because we were dating until middle to end of July. Now it kind of makes sense. I text him and I say, "Oh, so you cheated on me." No, I even told her that it was July. Not only do I have to figure out months later, but I have to figure out through the internet that I was cheated on when all of June and July I'm going to sleep thinking he is the love of my life. At my birthday together, I had the best birthday. I take him to the airport on my birthday and pick him up, basing my days around him, caring about him, whatever. Well, he must have just been cheating on me with this girl. It is. I can't even cry about it now because now it's just like he's hurt me through so much and put me through so much stuff that at this point it's like I am just so angry. Part is like if this is going to turn into this internet relationship, like I said, the reason I'm making this, I'm at least going to share my side of it. Also, the fact that literally up until Friday, yesterday morning, still talking to me and then wanted me to wait a week to even say anything. Never gonna make a video. I was never gonna turn it into this thing. I was never gonna tell her because I'm thinking they're not even together and we're gonna get back together. Obviously not. And obviously I deserve someone better. I am so tired of protecting him, that he can treat me like this and I can be tricked into believing that this is what I deserve.
But that sums up the video that Kylin saw at dinner with her boyfriend, and she obviously decides to cut her trip early and head home.
Hey y'all, hope you're having a great day. Not just a good day. We're gonna be in the airport for a good bit, and I know that you guys are all like waiting for my like story time of like what has happened with like the other girl and like my ex-boyfriend and all that stuff. And I probably will give one with time because right now I'm like obviously like upset and I want to be mature about it. Like I would have never said a word about it online because I just had like a different sort of respect for him until like her posting. Like I wish the girl would have like, I'm not like blaming her or anything like that because you kind of can't, like totally his fault too, but I wish she wouldn't have posted it online to where like I could have kind of like coped with it and not everybody seeing it already. Like, imagine me having no idea and just opening that TikTok while we're at dinner and just being like, yeah. So I'll tell you all the full story because it actually is some serious lore, but I'll be okay.
Kylin then posts a video explaining her side of things and why she's frustrated with Grace and how she handled things. She states that her intentions behind posting that video were a little messed up and that she had known Easton first way back from high school. She also states that him and Grace never actually dated. And of course, you're thinking that, oh, she's just believing Easton and she fell for all of his lies. No. Some of Grace's closest friends actually DM'd Kylin. And of course, Kylin came with receipts and posted these for everyone. And it basically says that Grace most likely did get this for followers and that Easton and Grace would always fight over titles and never actually dated. Now, Kylin also asked Grace to take this video down, but apparently Grace said no. She goes on to show more of these DMs from Grace's friends, basically just confirming that she was doing this for clout. Personally, I would definitely be finding new friends, Grace. This is why I have less than 5 close friends.
So I'm addressing this just because I've been seeing all the comments and a lot of people being like, why are you mad at her and not him? That is not the situation whatsoever. I am so mad at him that he's like done, gone, different dimension. Don't even like want to waste breath on him. But the reason why I am like mad at her is because I don't think that she did what she did for the right intention, and her story's a little messed up. So one thing about me and him is that she didn't date him or know him first. That's the crazy part. Like, this man has been sneaking in and out of my house since I was like a junior in high school. Like, it's been a thing for a while. We just never dated because we always felt like I was too young, and then we would like we were at like different points of our lives and stuff like that. So he's always just been like kind of like, we've always talked. Like, there's never like been a time like we weren't talking or anything like that. So that was crazy. Number 2, they never dated. I know that she says that, but look at this. And once again, I'm not validating his actions. I'm just holding her accountable to hers. So this text is from somebody very close to her. I'm marking them off just because it would hurt her if she found out who it was from worse than me. They say, no, I absolutely understand and totally agree that she just truly wanted some followers. Believe me, and blah, blah, blah. And then they go on later in the message to talk about how they would argue about labels, how they never like actually dated. And he's even like sent me screenshots like they actually never dated. So that was crazy. And I know that this person is valid because they are extremely close to her. They said, disgusting for continuing to speak and hang out with him, knowing about him and even like teasing him, egging him on. I think they both blah, blah, blah in this situation. So I'm so beyond sorry. And then I said, I just don't get whenever I first found out about it and like I was in shock. I asked her, like, she's saying like her whole thing is to like she could out him and embarrass him. But like, that's embarrassing to me too. That's the only reason why like I'm upset. Imagine like everybody in the world knowing about like something that you're very embarrassed about and like you didn't get time to cope with it, you didn't get time to think, you didn't get time to process, and like everybody knowing about it before you even knew. So that was like what was crazy to me. And it was like, she was like saying that it was like to expose him and to embarrass him and stuff like that. Like, yes, good. But like she could have done it without like putting me in it. And I also asked her to take it down because it was just so embarrassing for me. And she said no. And then her person said, I agree. She, at this point this morning, she genuinely just point blank said that she wanted followers. So that's the only reason why I'm ticked off from her. Like, why go and put all of this stuff out on the internet, embarrass someone so bad just for followers, just for personal gain? So that is why I'm aggravated.
Kylin then posts a part 2 to this video, and she says that she wants to do a podcast on the whole thing because she has all of these receipts. She has all of Grace's friends coming in her DMs, and she also states that Grace knew about her a lot longer than she let on in her first video.
I'm not validating him in any way. I'm just saying, don't go on the internet, pretend to be the victim, act like I home wrecked your relationship whenever I was talking to him the whole time and first. And then go on to say that you guys dated when there's text messages from someone really close to you saying that you didn't and that you just did it for followers. And I just think it's crazy and like so inhumane of the way that she handled it and went about it. I didn't even like get a soft launch my own boyfriend. Everybody found out who he was off of her stuff. So like that was crazy. And I just thought it was insane how just some things, like if she knew about us the whole time, I have been over to his house and posted in his house a million times. Like that was what's crazy. Like she just waited until like I like talked about it. Anyway, I'm gonna do a whole podcast on this because if y'all knew like all the receipts, all the crazy stuff that like her friends have sent me about like things that she would say about me whenever I had no idea that she existed and like things I have in writing. It's just podcast worthy. So I don't want to give it all up now. But yeah, now you guys understand why I went at her and like wanted her to be held responsible for her actions, because yes, he did it. Yes, that whole thing, blah, blah, blah. He's just as bad. But her playing the victim and acting like she wasn't at fault was bad too.
She ends the video basically saying that she wished Grace didn't post this to the internet because she's having a hard time processing all of this now that the whole entire internet is involved. I mean, do you blame her?
PSA to all the girls out there, if you're ever in a situation where like you find out that you're like, send the girl a text, wait for her to respond, don't go and put it right online for her to find out that way, because that like hurts worse than any hey girly text would ever hurt. Like it's just the amount of embarrassment, like disbelief, everything that I've been feeling, and I haven't even like been able to like do this in private. Like I don't know, it's just I feel like she didn't respect me enough to do that. And like, yeah, I get that she was aggravated and like annoyed with him, but like it hurt me worse than it probably did him.
So Grace sees these videos and she decides to upload a second video to all of this. She obviously apologizes for not giving Kylin the chance to talk about it before posting the video, and then she goes on to clarify her timeline of the whole entire relationship. She says Kylin cheated on her during the months of June and July and continued to talk to her all the way up until that Friday morning when he blocked her.
I'm making one last video to clear up some things, and I'm also going to take accountability for anything that I feel like the Lord is putting on my heart. Vengeance is reserved for the Lord, and I should not have acted on anger. The tagline was immature, and it was me taking my hurt and pushing it on someone else. To clear the timeline, he cheated on me with her in June and July, both months. Then continued to talk to me up until Friday morning. In September, he told me he was talking to a famous girl, never once told me the name, ever. The only speculation that I had was because I went to go look at his followers and saw, was anyone verified, and found her. That's it. I had literally nothing, and it could have been literally anyone. This is when I blocked her and her sister, and this is when I told him to bring me all my stuff at my door. I also told Kylin this in my text to her yesterday, that I had blocked her. And I also said this in my video. And I did that because if they were together, I did not want to see anything. I was so freaking hurt. And at this point, yes, I should have left him completely and left the relationship alone, but I'm telling you, I was in a sick cycle where I keep drawing back in. We got together, which of course now I regret for multiple reasons, and he told me to not tell anyone that it was okay because they weren't official. Again, never naming anyone, literally just saying that he's talking to someone and they're not official. I also sent Kylin this text.
She also tries to clarify that she never really knew who Kylin was. When Easton said that he was dating a famous TikToker, she just assumed that he was lying because apparently that's what they did to each other. They had a toxic relationship where they constantly lied and kept talking it out, I guess.
Keep in mind, I also think if he is talking to someone famous, this is just some crazy lie because that's what we did with each other. It was toxic. Again, I've never had any confirmation from him ever about who the girl was at all. I go on thinking that they're not together, this doesn't exist, this was made up, whatever. Yes, which is delusional, but when you have these blinders on, when you're in a relationship like this, and you have these deep feelings for this person, it is really hard to take them off. It wasn't until Friday morning when people sent me screenshots of all the TikToks saying boyfriend that I was like, no freaking way if it's him. I was crying my eyes out at work all day, and I text him and I say, do you want to tell her or do you want me to? And I've sent Kylin this too. Because at this point, I don't even know the fact that he cheated on me with her. I just know that for the last several months, we've been getting two-timed. He tells me that he will tell her, but to wait a week. I felt so guilty. I had nightmares. I wake up in the middle of the night and I text him and I'm like, I'm not waiting a freaking week. You're a liar. Then I wake up at around 6 something and see that people are sending me that they were together in June, or they started talking in June. And me and him were dating until the end of July.
But she ended up reaching out to her that morning and then posted the video at 1 p.m., which doesn't really give Kylin enough time to respond, especially with her being an influencer. She probably gets a ton of people in her DMs. The odds of her finding it that quickly is just, it's probably not gonna happen.
So now I'm angry, and of course my friends are rallying me up. I text him about cheating and I tell him that he's a liar, and I write the text to send her. I have proof with my friends about writing it and saying that I sent it yesterday morning at 7 a.m. You can see it there. And you can also see that then today I ask her, why is she saying that I didn't message her and I waited till later? You also see yesterday at 7:45, I don't want to show, saying to my friends, I sent it. And now she blocked me from Instagram after I DM'd her and said, why are you saying that? She didn't reply by 1 p.m. yesterday, which is when I posted the video. And she kept posting in his bathroom, so I'm assuming that she saw it and is ignoring it. And I was angry, so I'm like, I'm not waiting all day and letting him get away with it just because I can't reach her. My sole purpose of the TikTok was to expose the guy. But yes, I tried to make it obvious so that she would find it and know. It was a rash decision, and again, not once did I ever say anything mean about her at all. I literally just said the timeline, and she didn't respond to me until 4:22 p.m. yesterday. At this point, I reply and tell her that the video is not to embarrass her, but it was to expose him and that she is equally a victim. I also literally sent her every single screenshot I have because I'm trying to help her and convince her not to be with him, because he's obviously a psychopath. And then the story gets twisted that I never messaged her, or I didn't until after the video, or that I had her blocked yesterday, which also isn't true. I'll take accountability that maybe I should have waited longer for a response from her, but I was literally angry. And again, I just let that come out. I was mad that he gets to be this wonderful boyfriend on the internet all day, knowing that he was my boyfriend in June and July. And I was being two-timed up until that morning. Again, I should have brought it to the Lord first, and that is my first mistake in all of this. Obviously, I've made mistakes, I'm 20. This is the last time I'm going to talk about it. I really tried to help her, and I was completely honest in everything that I've said on here and everything that I sent her. So at the end of the day, I'm just a girl that was hurt by a boy. And I let my anger take over. I don't hate anyone. I think that she is beautiful, which is again why I also just couldn't even believe ever that like they were a thing. I also know that I shouldn't have gone back to him, but again, when you're in that situation, you never know how hard it is to get out. I wish her all the best, and I'm so sorry for any confusion, but I'm so tired of being pinned together and then lied about when I literally tried to help her. I never once said anything rude about her in my video, and I have also defended her in all the comments. And I'm also even choosing to trust that she didn't know about me in June and July, or up until Friday, because I am choosing to trust the girl over the guy. But I've said my piece, and I've said my prayers, and I've talked to the Lord, and I've shared with him what's on my heart, and now I've shared with you too.
Grace did also end up deleting her first video too, and as of right now, that's kind of where all of this ends. I'll let you guys know if there's any other updates, but I think this is kind of wrapped up. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.